Hi, everyone. Welcome to another Teacher Joseph podcast. This is Easter, Holy Thursday, and I have a touch of insomnia. Because of that, I thought I would make a podcast for you all. Right, so let's talk first of all about a spork. What is a spork? Well, that's a really good question. Let me give you the background to this first of all. So, you remember that criminal incident we had some years ago, where we had some bombing, a terrorist bombing in Manchester. It became known as the Manchester terrorist bombing. Well, of course, the perpetrator died during that bombing, and his brother was subsequently arrested. His brother is in jail, and a few days ago, he unfortunately attacked a few prison officers. At least that's what's been reported in the news. And in the reporting, they're now saying, well, should criminals be allowed in kitchens? Because they're allowed a certain amount of freedom to cook their own food. Some of them live in little, little apartments where they can make their own food. Apparently, I didn't know this, but anyway, once they restrained this man and made the place safe again, his name was Hashim Al-Bedi, I think. They've now said in the news, now he only has a spork to eat with. And of course, all of us are thinking, oh, well, a spork. What's a spork? And that is what we're going to talk about. A spork is a spoon fork utensil. It's not exactly a spoon, and it's not exactly a fork. It's a spork. Half spoon, half fork. So it's very small. And if you hold it in one way, you have the little prongs of a fork. And if you turn it around, you have the spoon. Yeah, it's a little bit strange, a spork. Well, I don't think any of us knew what they were called. I mean, sometimes if you go and buy ice cream, then you're given a little wooden thing on the lid, which you're supposed to use to eat the ice cream with. I mean, it never works. They're usually too small to use, and the ice cream's usually too hard to dig it up with. But that gives you an idea of what a spork is. It's a tiny little thing, a tiny, very small utensil that looks like maybe the size of the palm of your hand, but it's got two bits to it. One end is the fork and the other end is the spoon. That's a spork. There we are. Right, some news headlines from today. Cows kill more people than sharks. Well, they would, of course, here, because we don't have sharks. And cows are dangerous, as I often tell you. Okay, the Daily Mirror is saying, I forgive the police who killed my son. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, a lot of the newspapers leading with this massive story that we had from yesterday. Yesterday there was a big court case about who is a woman. Around the UK, we have a lot of men who want to become women, and a lot of women who are changing their gender into men. So the court had a ruling about who is really a woman. And this is because a lot of women have been feeling very unsafe. A man becomes a woman and then he's in the same toilet or dressing room, like a sports room, for example, as women are. And many women are saying, well, I don't feel safe with that. And the Scottish government is leading this by saying that a transgender woman, a man who's become a woman, has a right to be treated exactly like a woman. And another group argued with the government and said, well, actually, no, we're women by birth and we want to keep it that way. So finally, the government yesterday, the Supreme Court here in the UK, made a ruling that a woman is a biological woman in the eyes of the law. No surprises there then. I mean, really, do we really need a court case to say a woman is a woman? But yeah, I must admit, I do wish they would find a way to resolve this, because trans people do deserve the same rights as everybody else if that's what they want to be. It's just a question of management. How do they manage spaces, which were previously for biological women, which are now for the wider definition? It's a very big thing, and there's a lot of very unhappy people here today. So that's also in the news. That's been a major thing since yesterday. In a few of the newspapers today, talking about this ruling. The Daily Express, victory for common sense as Supreme Court judge rules the legal definition of a woman is based on biological sex. The Metro, trans women are not actually women technically. And there's a few other ones as well. Let's see. Yeah, I think that they all have a little bit of this somewhere in the newspapers. Yeah, it's a very, very difficult story, that even finding the language to talk about it isn't easy. But it's not the end. This court ruling is just establishing what a woman is, but they still have to deal with things like sports, trans women in sport, trans women in the same space as biological women if they're getting changed. The Scottish government is adamant that a woman should not be a biological woman. So they're the ones pushing this. Let's see. Some other stories in the news. Electric cars with Chinese parts banned from the UK. Okay. Another one here. Yeah, the usual stuff about American politics. Really rough. Let's see. Acting legend Maggie Smith. Her ghost is present on a movie star. Her ghost is present on a movie set, I should say, says one movie star. Let's read that because it's funny. The spirit or the ghost of the late great Dame Maggie Smith is being felt by stars of Downton Abbey, says actor Paul Giamatti. He said she remained a force in a spiritual way for the full production of Downton Abbey. So they're saying that Maggie Smith is on the set. That the set is, where we act, where things are filmed in the studio. That's called the set. Yeah, so she's coming back to haunt people. Let's see, what else do we have here? Match of the Day host Gary Lineker says he's in a video game being operated by aliens. The former football star believes he's living in a Matrix-style computer system. Yeah. Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh yeah, here's more on this Maggie Smith thing. Late screen icon, Dame Maggie Smith, guided the cast of Downton Abbey's third and final movie from her grave, her tomb. The actress, who died aged 89 last year, was present as the emotional last part of the drama was being made, according to Paul Giamatti, the actor. Giamatti explained that Maggie Smith remains a spiritual force on the set in the studio. The grand finale He said, not having Maggie there is a huge loss, but everybody was still acting, remembering her. We can feel her presence through the whole thing. It's very strange. He added, the interesting thing for me was that they even asked me what I thought. But what's funny is that he talks about his part in the Downton Abbey's movie. He said, they asked me what they thought of my part in the movie, and I said, it's small, but he does something very significant. So that's a hint at what might be happening in the new Downton Abbey movie. But anyway, they're saying that Maggie Smith is guiding them and they all feel her presence. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? On Easter Thursday. So Easter Thursday in the UK is known as Maundy Thursday. I've been telling everyone that I'm going to go to the church today. At 10 o'clock, they're doing the Liturgy of the Hours, but quite frankly, getting up early to go to the church to watch them sing badly, I think I'll just listen to Eros Ramazzotti instead. It'll have the same effect. So, yeah, I'll probably not go. It's a nice idea, but by the time 10 o'clock comes, I'm sure I will talk myself out of it. It's a lovely idea to go to the church because it's Easter. Oh, but it's a bit dull and it's raining. Yeah, I think I'll just go with Eros Ramazzotti. It'll produce the same effect. After a few minutes, I'll be bored and then switch it off anyway. Right, there we are. So enjoy your day, whatever you're doing, and I hope to see you all again soon. Bye.